All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Monday afternoon, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern, March 11th, might I say. Great to see all of our students and members just joining us back inside our live trading room. So Margaret just before, Alex, Barbara, Brent, Herb, got Mario, Mark, and all of our students and members just joining us there. And hey, if you're just joining us back on social media, otherwise Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. That being at Cyber Trading You, just all of our social media streams and platforms there. Just make sure that you're followed and subscribed right to that. Actually doing a live workshop simulcast inside our live trading room and on YouTube tomorrow. So with that, folks, let's hop right into the thick of things here. I'll tell you what, it has been a slow, stagnant, murky day. If you were looking for 80 degrees and sunny outside, well, you ended up opening up your door, opened up your window, and you got like 45, 50 degrees and pouring rain. And just an ugly day today. And that's not to say the market was tanking. It's really just to say there was an overall lack of activity throughout the entire day. In fact, right now, the SPY is trying to push back on up. But with that said, at least, Bitcoin ended up breaking all-time highs this morning. We were talking about that. That was really like into the morning, overnight into this morning. But with that, Coinbase was holding up strong early. That still is holding strong now, but I got to tell you, all these miners, Mara, CLSK, Riot, it all end up tanking today, right? So if anything, CLSK and Mara were pretty good shorts going into the late morning, early afternoon session. I feel like they could be better bounces going into this time of the day now. We rarely see continuation on these crypto miners going into the afternoons, even if they're up a lot of percent wise, and they're pushing on the way up. They normally don't make that big push into the close. They actually reverse. So this would be a more apropos day to actually put CLSK and Mara on our watch list because of our experience with them. Again, it's not a surefire guarantee they reverse, but that's honestly the direction I'm looking for, at least from this point forward. So I'll add CLSK. I will add Mara. Did pretty good on a couple other stocks, at least from the pre-market session into the morning, but they are not looking too hot now. Duo from earlier today. This was a great pre-market trade. This started my morning off pretty nicely after the 8 o'clock move. Pretty phenomenal push from like $1 up to $1.70, but I ended up leaving some money on the table. And when I was looking for a new entry on this trade later on, it just pulled right back and broke. So it didn't go under and over. It just broke under and stayed under, and that was a wrap. So, that duo trade was early, PIK, you could say even earlier. This one wasn't really even a great trade after the market opened or after 8 o'clock. It was really early in the morning, just at 4 a.m. It was our top percent gainer going into the morning session, at least. PIK ended up pushing up pretty nicely, but like I said before, no one really is out there trading 4 or 5, even 6 in the morning. And you might get some, folks international that fits their time zones better, but otherwise, most news comes out here in U.S. markets around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, obviously from there. STI. This was a really good one, at least going into the early afternoon. I ended up just jumping onto a couple of coaching calls throughout my day, and truth be told, I ended up coming back to this a bit too late. Ended up breaking out of resistance, and at that point, it was running without me. I tried looking for an entry later on off of 2, but the same thing happened here as it happened on the duo trade in the morning, where it broke under, stayed under, and that was a wrap. It was pretty much right at like 205, $2. I was looking for support, and it ended up just breaking immediately under it here going into mid-afternoon. So I was interested in it. I saw the break under. I just stayed away, and support became resistance there. All right, so I'll tell you, we're going to look for a bounce on the miners, but otherwise, let's just go right from top to bottom. Actually, before I do that, let me just jump to coin because I think I had this on the screen to begin the meeting, but otherwise, with the minor stocks, I could slip Coinbase on our, watch list as far as a swing trade. This is up a lot still percentage-wise, especially compared to the miners. So if we do get an overall bounce, then Coinbase, I would assume, would benefit the most out of that there. So I'll add Coinbase on our list more as a swing just from what Fausto has been on over the last few weeks here, up and down. Couple eyes. Let's go right from top to bottom here. See what we can grab. This thing's taking off now. P or XPDB. Try saying that 3 times fast. So this stock just got halted on the way down right now, not on the way up, on the way down here. Basically went from 10 to 50. It's just a more show and tell stock. Honestly, there's no real tradability behind it. It's trading 447,000 shares total on the day. And, again, it's halted right now, but by the time it reopens up, the order book is going to be paper thin. It's basically going to be like it is halted, and no one's going to really be out there. So let's just check to see if there's any news out on this, at least from this morning. Yeah, so GE, Vernona, and Montana Technologies closes a joint venture to manufacture transformational air conditioning. Okay, I guess air conditioning and atmospheric water harvesting products. Don't ask me any more about that, folks. So either way, end up making a really strong push, but it's a pump and dump type of trade. Just looking at how low volume the stock is right now, the stock before today trades an average or just anywhere between 100 to a couple 100,000 shares per day on average. So that's extremely light. I have no interest in this trade outside of just showing it to you and just like, oh, look at the stock moved up. That's pretty much it. All right, STI, we keep it rolling though as we go from top to bottom here. I mean, I guess it's trying to push back up now, but I was looking for that support build earlier in the afternoon, and I don't think that we're going to get that run back up at this point. All right, we keep it going. TCBP. This one's low volume, ENCP here. It's kind of the theme, low volume, or they're really not moving too well. Nuke, NUKK, Nucleus Inc. I mean, I guess this is moving all right, but the order book is pretty bad for the price. For a dollar stock to have a 3-cent spread like that, we've seen a lot better. So just kind of keep rolling through here, see if there's anything else looking good that we could follow. NN Spartacus Corp. Pretty slow moving stock. I like the fact that it's at the highs, right? It doesn't have a bad order book in terms of the spread either. I'm not too familiar with this stock, but at least it's tradable in that sense. Let's see if there's anything moving even a bit faster for our liking. Meso LXRX here. This one's not looking half bad. I mean, ended up making a little pop at the open, pulled back, and it looks like just now it broke out of a little resistance off that first high. Still has to get up towards like 290-ish to get to the pre-market high from earlier this morning. But good order book. I'll give it a shot here. LXRX. I'll add this to our main list at least. All right, what else? What else? INO. A lot of the pharma stocks were up big today, weren't they? So mRNA up a lot. That was from before. Thought I saw NVAX up a decent chunk. There was another one. I guess it wasn't NVAX. There was another pharma that was up a decent chunk. I'll probably find it as we go through. INO, of course, was one of them, though, and maybe that was the one I was thinking of. Tupperware, TUP. We've traded the stock, of course, in the past, up and down, and it's not looking as good today as what we've seen it done. So, right now, I'm not really too interested in it. MSTR, crypto stock there. HUYA, Fausto had called this one out from the open. Wasn't too bad at first, but then slowed down. Billy, Chinese company, I guess it's kind of at the highs. It's still there a bit. I'll come back to this one at the end. Right now, really for the afternoon, we're not building up a great watch list. I got to tell you, normally there'd be at least one or two stocks that are like pretty strong, like moving pretty well, not just at the highs, but actually moving pretty nice. BB, again, at the highs, a little slow for my liking here right now. I could add it. It doesn't hurt us to add it, right? But is it like the best stock that we've seen so far? Honestly, it might be. Honestly, you want something a little bit better that's moving a little bit sharper. So maybe we will find it there, or maybe on the loser side here. But let's just go right through here, see what else is out there on the losers list right now. JRVR, PSTX, looking for a potential short, something at least decent moving. VKTX, potential gap fill here. The stock broke all-time highs off a crazy pop we had like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I remember that. We've traded VKTX in the past and off of all-time highs as well. But yeah, that was a pretty crazy day. Filling the gap, it seems to be right now, trying to. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, nothing else really looking good from the losers list, at least something that's within our price range even. So, for Michael, for Jeff, for all of our students here in chat, Kathleen, and all of us otherwise, let me know if there's anything else that I'm missing, or if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, if there is a stock that you'd want me to look at, check out, anything that I missed, type it in, let me know. I actually deleted my fancy scanner on Benzinga Pro, so now I got to reorganize that. See if there's anything else looking good from there. But otherwise, I'll tell you, I mean, the miners hopefully can make a stronger bounce into the afternoon. If it keeps dropping right now, the support I was looking for, at least from earlier, was 18. Draw that there basically. And 1786 to complement. So the combination of those two prices are going to create a support on this trade that we're going to follow for the afternoon. That's basically what I'm looking at there. All right, really quick, I'll just show you my scan here on Benzinga. I'll reset it in front of you, and then we'll pretty much wrap up. All right, so you want over $1. Where's volume here? Volume, 500,000 shares. Do that. There we go. All right, so ASLN, and then the nuke trade that we said we'd kind of come back to there. Not really like the best looking stock, but if it keeps popping up, I guess I'm kind of forced to add this one at least for now. Nuke. If the spread's tighten up on this, I'll be a lot more of a fan at least. Joyce in chat saying TSLL. You know, Tesla from earlier had the pop. Don't get me wrong. Great long from earlier today. Topped off right around 10 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. There, a little after. But it's one that we pretty much just keep on our side list and we'll only put on our main list unless if it's like right at the highs, right at the lows as a good day trade. But as far as like going with the stock market, potential bounce back up, I feel like you could see that over time here on Tesla. It ended up doing a good job of making that gap fill pretty much. And now it's a matter of seeing higher lows or at least equal support to begin to build. Say honestly, if it breaks under 175, won't be too hot. But otherwise, at 178 now, could be on the bounce back up as a swing. ASLN, just checking out my Benzinga Pro scan, and it's not as if we scan for these cheapy below $1 type of stocks, but this one now over $1 either way. ASLN was on the top of my Benzinga Pro scan, trading 1.4 million shares total on the day. I'll add this to our list. Looks decent. Hopefully holds above water there. CRDF from my scan from Benzinga. Lex, not much else looking good. Michael saying Carvana taking a hit today. Yeah, it is down a little bit there today. It's on the loser side. Hard to borrow on TradeStation, but I'm not going to discriminate against like anyone not on TradeStation. We're broker neutral here at CTU, so just because I'm not able to short it, it's hard to borrow either way. It might be easy to borrow for someone else, but the main reason I'm not a fan of it is just the order book. It's just there's better stocks that we could be trading in terms of the order book. In terms of being a more expensive stock, this is the type of order book I would expect. So, hey, if this order book was on like a $4 or $5 stock, I'd be like screaming to watch out, right? This is kind of normal to see on Carvana with this type of spread, the order book size. But hey, if you could try and short it and you do well on Carvana more days out of the week than not when you do trade it, then I say that you should look to follow it. But otherwise, I like what we got here for now. Mara, CLSK, the miners there, and Coinbase obviously as far as the swing trade potentially goes. We'll jump back to that Billy. Billy trying to I don't even want to say move up. It's just flattening out here a little bit. A lot of these Chinese stocks just flatten out across the afternoon. They'll gap up in the morning or gap down in the morning there, and then make their move heading into the market open with us. But otherwise, a lot of these Chinese stocks just not really moving as nice here. Up as I say that, Neo actually revving up a little bit the last like 30 minutes, right? You know what? I'm a sucker for Neo. You know that. We'll just rip through a lot of these Chinese stocks, seeing if there's any one looking better than another, like Billy or Neo to begin. XPEV, slow. Lee, not looking good at all. I'll tell you what, that's kind of all I had right there. Maybe just check out China ETF here. Yin, absolutely flat. FXI, another ETF, China large cap ETF, absolutely flat. All right, so getting back to Neo, it's up 7%. It is revving back up a little bit. It's at the highs. All right, all right, all right. There we go. We'll do Neo, and then Billy. You know what? I'll add as well, but that's pretty much it. That'll be the last one I add there. All right, so folks, hey, going into the close, I'll be back on the mic coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern time in about 15 or so minutes. For those of us joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, etc., a couple of housekeeping notes really quick. Tomorrow, live workshop at 11 o'clock Eastern, but tomorrow through Thursday, Fausto is doing a three-part boot camp, beginner introductory to day trading boot camp. So we look forward to seeing all of us on YouTube, social media, Facebook Live, etc., joining us across this whole week, tomorrow through Thursday. And again, likewise, with every Tuesday, I'll be hosting our weekly Traders Talk workshop. That'll be kicking things off, I should say, in the morning at 11 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll go from there. All right. But otherwise, for all of us in chat, like I said, I'll be back on the mic coming up in just a little bit. Talk to you soon.